Wesley the crazy man, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. What is going on, world? I'm Wesley from Aconnectiontv, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences, and I hate the way my face looks. I am one of those people that take what I do very seriously. A lot of you guys don't understand what it takes to do Mona Simone, and me having to shave my face, it hurts because I hate the way I look with a shaved face. Oh my God, I swear like I look like a sick monkey. I hate the way that it looks. And so that's why when, I go through all of the dramatics of transforming into Mona Simone for entertainment purposes, and you guys fail to like the video or to click that thumbs up button, I fail to do videos because I've done Mona Simone for like years now, and there will come a time where I will just be over it altogether. And not saying that time is this year or this month or tomorrow, I'm not sure, but the longevity of Mona Simone is based on the longevity of the support of the people and whether or not it's genuine or not. Because currently, to speak, we got 1,500 views at 405 likes. The math just doesn't make sense. But anyways, like the video. I'd really appreciate it. I'm glad to be back filming. I, for some time got annoyed with filming, but it does calm my nerves. It really, really does calm my nerves to record. But this particular video is not going to be about my life story, but it's going to be about the awesome series, especially this particular season. Let me refer to saying that season 29 of The Real World. Okay, betrayed and beat down, and then the last episode that just came on tonight. Now, I was in Fort Lauderdale last week, well, Orlando and Fort Lauderdale last week, and so I was unable to do my weekly videos for Aconnectiontv, but I am back, okay, and I did watch Beat Down and Betrayed when I was away, but I wasn't able to record and upload it. And I was interested in the episode when I first watched it. We're going to touch up on certain topics because I do not want this video to be like an hour long. So we're going to touch up on specific topics and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So this particular episode was basically about Jay and Jenna, okay? Haley and Thomas, kinda, sorta. And mainly Jenny and Brian. Now that Lauren is gone, Corey has no issues. Ashley and Ariel, they get along, they're perfect, so they're never on camera really. And, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest of the crew are the ones that are going through the dramatics. When Jenny comes out and she says, I'm allergic to latex, I'm like, what? What happened? What are you trying to tell me? Now I gotta have unprotected sex with you, or we gotta use, what is it, the goat skin or egg yolk? I don't know what other condoms there are, but Trojan regular condoms, but I don't know. I don't know about all that. Brian's like, well, I guess we won't be having sex that much. Jenny's like, yeah, I guess. Brian is looking ultra freaking hot in the last couple of episodes. Like, his whole chest with the pecs all out and just hanging like he needed a training bra. Brian was really looking legit. Thomas doesn't think that Haley deserves to be with anyone, especially in the house. Thomas doesn't think that Haley deserves any kind of happiness being in this house. Thomas is annoyed by Haley and the fact that she's even in the house, that any of the exes are in the house. So Thomas enlightens everybody about how peachy, sweet and clean Haley really is, because Haley lied to Thomas and cheated on Thomas, and the only reason why he found out about it was because the two dudes that Haley was cheating with told him. The guys think that Brian doesn't need to tell Jenny about the kiss. I'm thinking to myself, the way that Brian has been promoting himself on the show, you would think that he would be honest. So I'm like, yeah, he does need to tell Jenny because at the end of the day, it's going to come out anyway. Anyway, it's going to come out. So yeah, Brian does need to say something, especially if he cares. If he didn't care, then he wouldn't have said anything. But I think he cared, and I think that he realized that he was on. Well, not realized, but I mean, he's on national TV. It's gonna come out anyway. And you do not want to be contradicting your own persona, especially when you're on a show called The Real World and you're not honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been dumb. So it made sense for Brian. It makes sense for Brian to tell Jenny at this particular moment. These guys go into the club. Now, for some reason, I cannot understand how these people be dancing when they be going to the club. They be looking insane and crazy. Like, I don't understand how they dance at the club. But anyways, they decide to go to the club. Jenna latches onto Jamie, and Jenna is feeling like Jamie is like Father Jamie. Can I confide in you? You know, she wants to give her all in conversation to Jamie about Jay. Those kind of situations aren't good because I'm thinking to myself, if I am in any kind of ship, relationship, friendship, buddyship, courtship, TV ship, any kind of ship, whatever arrangement we have, I should be able to communicate with you about any and everything, okay? If I feel that I can't communicate to you about any and everything, then this particular ship is going to sink and it's not going to sail the seas. It really isn't. This is not going to be Assassin's Creed 25. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to be. So for me, I don't think Jenna talking to Jamie about Jay's situation or about their situation with Jay, it doesn't make any sense to me. Especially if you have not already communicated with Jay on that. You know, now you can feel the way that you feel. The truth is the truth. But at least communicate to the party that we're going to be discussing first before you even try to get anybody else in the house involved. You know, that's how I feel about Jen. I don't know about how y'all feel. Now let's talk about Jamie. Now I'm not gonna get into the notes and all of that. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna come out. Jamie. Okay. Jamie starts to feel some sort of way because she sees Jay getting numbers at the gym. She sees Jay talking to girls at the club. She starts to feel some sort of way, and because Jenna has already confided into her, she feels obligated to stick up for this grown-ass female. Now, here's my thing. Here is my thing. There is something called loyalty. There is something called code of ethic. If you proclaim that you are a family in this house of the real world, then what Jamie should have done, okay, was to go to Jay and say, Jay, look, I really think that you need to speak to Jenna because Jenna has said some things to me that are quite alarming, and I don't know your position on it and your stance on it, but she is not that brave when talking to you about certain situations. So, buddy, I think you should go, really handle that. That's how Jamie should have handled that situation. I really think so. She should have allowed that to occur first before putting her 2 cents into the situation. Reason why I say that is because it allows Jay to know that you indeed have his back and you still care for Jenna. So if situations collide, they have a conversation with one another, and Jenna is still like, Jamie, it just didn't work out, then, Jamie, can you get all up into Jay and Jenna's business and include yourself? Mind you, Jenna should have never said anything to you, but at the end of the day, that's how that particular situation should have been played. When Jamie was just staring at Jay about the whole situation, because Jay, now the producers, I thought Oxygen producers were shady. But the MTV producers are shady. The fact that they will download or send sporadic, spontaneous videos to you, disclosing certain situations that you were in and had no business being in, just to start drama, that shit right there is crack. For real. And so when Jay saw that a video with him at Sloan came out, he didn't want to see the video. Jamie felt some sort of way. Now see, if Jamie, this would have been the perfect opportunity for you to be like, yo, bruh, this is what's going down. But Jay feels some sort of way. He don't want the video to be played. He's trying to figure out if he can delete the video so that the video is not played. And I'm like, damn, what did he do? Did he screw this girl? What did he do? A peck on the cheek is not cheating. I don't think a peck on the cheek is cheating. To me, if I'm dating someone and they peck someone on the cheek, that is way over the line when it comes to flirting. Now, kissing someone on the lips, that's cheating. Grabbing someone and groping on their ass and kissing on their neck and all that, that's cheating to me. But a little mwah on it, no, that's just crazy flirting. So I'm thinking that if that's all that Jay did and we're losing sleep over that, that's insane. Granted, Jay was not honest with Jenna, and to find out that Jay had 2 side chicken wings on the side to his breast meal, I was like, what the hell? Jenna just seems like that type of girl that will give you any kind of head that you want. She seems like that type of girl that will never forget your birthday. She seems like that type of girl, whenever you need a massage, she will be there to massage your feet. And even if your big toe has 10 corns on the toenail itself, she will be there ride or die. That's the kind of chick Jenna gives me. So I'm thinking to myself, while Jay is walking around the house with a boner, holding up his shorts so his boner won't show on TV. I don't know if y'all caught that, but I caught that, of course, because But I'm thinking to myself, Jay know what he got. And if you allow someone to continue to ride that roller coaster ride, okay, without a seatbelt, aka a title, they're gonna want to do that for as long as they can. That's where communication comes into play, and that's where you guys talk. Ariel deleted the video for Jay. Jay is completely thrilled and excited and happy. I'm thinking to myself, like, that's all fucked up. That's all fucked up. But, the roommates have his back. So Jamie is eyeing Jay, eyeing him down. And she's like, you know what? Tell him how you feel, son. Tell him how you feel, Jenna. Jenna's like, well, I just don't know. Well, no, not really. That's not what I said. She got my words all twisted. Damn it. I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about that situation, but I was feeling like, what? That really made no sense for Jamie to butt in. Like, I just was not here for all of that. Let's talk about Brian telling Jenny that he kissed a girl at the restaurant so that Jenny would not feel compelled to beat him up. So he did that. He's beating around the bush, and he tells her. She gets upset. She leaves the club. She locks him out the house. I thought that was funny when she locked him out the house. I thought that was hilarious. I really did. I thought that was hilarious. She locks him out the house, and he's like, can somebody let me in? Can somebody let me in? The guys let him in. Now, here's the thing. You definitely can tell that there's like a guy code. Because Jay, Corey, Thomas, they're all riding for Brian because they're all dudes. They all like females. I think it would have been a highly different situation if one of the guys were gay. But we don't have that this particular season. So all the guys like vagina ears. So all of them are riding for each other. And it's nice to see the camaraderie between the dudes, but at the same time, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Okay, if you know your boy, your bro code, your guy code, ride or die, kissed another chick, and you were originally cool and, down with the original member, Jenny, I think the loyalty will go over to Jenny before it go over to Guy Code because this dude, y'all don't know him. You know what I'm saying? So and this is how I would have handled the situation. If Brian said, hey, I kissed a girl, blah, blah, blah. If I was the dude there, I would have been like, Brian, you need to tell my sis Jenny. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want her to get hurt in the situation, and that's the way that it needs to be. All the dudes thought that it was dumb for him to say anything. Now, soon as Jenny finds out, she goes crazy. And as time progresses in episodes, she gets crazier and crazier and crazier. To the point to where they're arguing, going back and forth. And Brian gets really, really rude and crass and absurd with his vocabulary choices. And he's like, you dumb bitch. Him again, you dumb bitch. And, you know, Jenny slaps him. And I'm like, wow, okay. All right, this is how this episode is going to go. Okay, no problem. Brian approaches her a little bit. Jenny slaps him again. And then they're pulled apart. Now, this is like this whole altercation, fiasco type situation where security guards are coming about and everything's going all crazy and he's just losing his mind. You dumb bitch, you dumb bitch. He's like, they have spell check for apologize. You dumb bitch, you dumb bitch. Security comes in, Jenny gets all demiked and she's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this bullshit no more. I'm done. I'm over it. Fuck this. Brian is so annoyed and upset. He's like, you're not touching my shit, right? You're not touching my shit. I hope you're not touching my shit. If you know that someone that you liked hurt you or hurt your feelings, is it a justifiable situation if you flirt and get your thing on at the club? You damn right. You know why I say that? Because if I could share myself with someone and they can just completely just cheat on me or do whatever to someone else and have blatant disregard for my emotions and my feelings, and I know that I can get a rise out of them by making them jealous and flirting with other people, by golly, I am going to motherfucking do it. So the whole situation with Brian and Jenny, I kind of get it. Brian's talking to some girl, then Jenny's talking to some girl. In between, Jenny talking to some guy. In between Jenny talking to the German dude who was originally talking to Haley, which Haley got mad, but then she said she didn't care because she didn't understand what he was saying. I was like, yeah, right, Haley. But anyways, Jenny starts talking to the German dude, starts kissing the German dude. Corey gets involved because Corey is like, oh, Jenny's being petty, Jenny's being petty. All the while, you know, Corey is having Brian's back about the whole situation, which leads them to the argument and, you know, Jenny slapping Brian. I just do not play with people's emotions. That's how I feel about it. Do not play with people's emotions. Jenny was feeling some sort of way. Brian is still hell-bent on the fact that he knows that Corey slept with Jenny. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to get over it. While Jenny was doing her thing with Corey, we heard you on the phone doing your thing, okay? Doing your thing with someone else. So it's like, I just really don't understand why Brian cares and why he's concerned so much with his relationship with Jenny. It makes no sense to me. Maybe you guys can rationalize it in my mind or in your mind and then, you know, relate it to me. All the while this battle is happening with Brian and Jenny, Jay and Jenna are going through this situation because of Jamie ruining 2 years of what Jay thought was complete bliss in a matter of 10 minutes. And, you know, the whole night is just a whole clusterfuck. Brian says he dreams about a tsunami and the tsunami killing off the human race, and he has to pick a chick that will help him carry on the human race. And instead of picking Jenny, he picks another girl, and I'm just like, okay, that's a sign. That's a sign that maybe you and her weren't meant to be. Because, you know, I believe in what dreams tell us. Dreams are a vivid, explicit story of how we really should and want to live our lives. Now, when it gets to the dark and scary shit, then they're very explicit and vivid warnings of how we should not live our lives. So at the end of the day, our minds are telling us what we really want to do and what we really should do in our dreams. That's just my thoughts. The house has a house meeting because of the whole, everything that's going on with all the dramatics and everything. And Ariel is the only sound mind at the table. And she's just like, you know, we all need to come together and just, you know, if we have beef with one another, go to that particular person and talk it out. Jay's like, fuck that, this is not a family. I was so blindsided by this, but for the next 5 weeks, I'm done with y'all bitches. This is not a family. Jenny ends up throwing all of Brian's stuff out of the room because she says, I can't deal with liars. I hate dealing with liars. I'm done with this shit. She throws all of his shit out out of the room into the house, main part of the house. And, Brian, I really feel that Brian wants to knock this chick out. I really feel that. But, Brian's on TV. He's not going to go out like that. I don't know if they've actually had physical fights outside of the house. I would not be surprised if they had. That's all I'm saying. But Brian's like, don't touch my stuff. I'll get my own stuff. Security, I'll put my own stuff out. Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. I'll get my own stuff out. I'm like, okay. He has restraint. Okay, Brian has restraint. So Brian is no longer Jenny's roommate. So, we get to the next episode. All the guys are getting along. Brian and his metaphors are just weird, period. Because he calls Jenny a mythological squid that's sinking his battleship or some shit like that. I'm like, what? Then all the guys go to the gym. They're all getting along. They're all working out. Brian got a nice body. Corey got a nice body. Everybody has nice bodies all over the place. Bro time between Brian and Corey. Now, this is some gay man's fantasy to see Brian and Corey together, but Brian and Corey are attached to the hip in these few clips that are coming on my screen, and it's nice to see that they can get along. It's nice to see that they can go out to eat together. It's nice to see that they can follow each other all around or whatever, and say that it's, Brian calls it a bro-pocalypse. I'm like, all right, that's all hot. Corey states that Brian has a crush on him, and then Brian states that he trusts Corey more than he would ever trust Jenny. I'm like, damn. You only known Corey for like 2 weeks. You known Jenny for 5 years, and you trust Corey more? In this episode, the production crew posts videos up, and like I spoke to y'all about it earlier in this review, because I was chopping everything up and putting everything up. Jay doesn't want the video seen or whatever the case may be, but in the end of it all, Jenny ends up seeing the video because Jamie mentions that video bullshit to Jenna. Jamie buds in a motherfucking game. Jenna sees the video and she confronts Jay about it, and basically Jay is completely outed. He can't do anything about it. He lied in the beginning, okay, but then once the cat was out the bag and she saw the video, he was like, all right, my bad, I'm sorry. Then Jenna was like, no, I want to see the motherfucking emails. Let's see the emails, goddammit. Jay is like, I don't know what emails you're talking about. Huh? I'm confused. They all go to the computer, we see the emails, and obviously, Jay was trying to have his cake and eat it too with this whole Jenna situation and the girl at the bar. I'm going to just leave it at that. At the end of the day, is Jamie shady? Jamie is she's just shady. Jamie is shady. Period. Brian and Corey in the shower. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to say it one more time. Then we get to Jenny doing a tarot card reading of Haley. Did anybody else think that was a tarot card reading? Because I'm just thinking to myself, why in the hell are they positioned like that? And she's like, did you ever win $1,000? Did you have hateful parents? Were you foster children? Some shit she was asking her. And Haley was like, yeah, you're getting all right. You're getting it all right. I have an evil past. And there were times where I was violent. And I went, this person raised me and that person raised me. I don't really know the specifics of what she was saying. I just got annoyed with that whole story. I was more or less concerned with the fact that Corey and Brian were in the shower. That's all I'm saying. I know how Jay reverted to looking at a picture of him and his mother, and trying to ask for guidance within regards to how he should handle the situation with Jenna, because it just, I don't know, he seemed hurt by it genuinely, and I think he moved away from view of the camera with his face to just soak it all in and remember his mother. The whole cast and crew go out to take pictures. All the OGs are getting their pictures taken, and all the exes aren't. The exes feel some sort of way by the OGs, isolating their team, the original gangsta team. And Brian feels some sort of way about it. He's like, I've earned my spot in this house. I've done a lot to get here. I sacrificed a lot to get here. I'm thinking to myself, at the end of the day, I don't think you came here to work on the situation with Jenny. I don't feel that. I think the exes came to be on TV. Like, that's how I'm feeling about the situation. I don't know. It just seems inauthentic. Like the only exes that I think came to work on their relationships was Jenna and Ashley. I'm gonna say it like that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. That's my story with it, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. We're gonna say it like that. They all go to the club. Haley gets wasted. Haley starts touching, feeling all over Thomas. Jamie gets upset. Thomas cusses out Jamie. They leave. They get back to the house. Haley is rolling around on the floor, humpity dumpity, humpity dump dump dump. She's drunk as shit, and her orange sheet rolling all on the floor because of the argument that they had at the club. Thomas and Jamie are refereed by Corey, who seems to want to put the situation to rest. Because Thomas is drunk, he starts being rude to Jamie, and Jamie's like, don't be rude to me, don't be rude to me, don't be rude to me. I'm tired of Jamie's insecurities with Thomas. I really am. It pisses me off when she felt some sort of way that Haley was rubbing all up against Thomas. Should Haley be doing that? No. Get your boo together, but get the bitch together too. That's what I'm saying. Don't just be at Thomas's throat. Get the bitch together and be like, girl, don't put your hands, stop putting your hands on my man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would feel about that. But, you know, Jamie and I can't adopt that similar connection despite our differences because we just don't connect on that level. When they get home, you know, Thomas is arguing because he's drunk or whatever. Jamie's like, you know what, forget this. Let's go to bed because we're drunk. I want to talk about this in the morning. Haley is speaking to Corey. Thomas comes into the situation where Haley is speaking to Corey, and then the cat is out the bag. Thomas had some ex named Ashley who should have or was interviewed to come on the show, but because the producers didn't like Ashley, they asked Haley to come on the show, and Haley feels some sort of way because she feels that she deserved to be here. She earned her spot to be here because she beat out Ashley. Thomas says, I want you to go home. I want all the exes to go home. That sparks off Haley. Haley gets mad. She slaps him, beats him up, scars his face. It seemed like he had like claw marks on his face. Then she ends up going into the bed, throwing her covers over the bed, and, you know, causing a huge scene. Corey trying to calm the peace, keep the peace down, or whatever the case may be. I'm like, wow, okay, so Haley, okay, so Haley is a prime dog when she's drunk. You know, here's my thing about Thomas and Haley. Should the exes have come to the house? No. It only makes situations more difficult. Should Thomas say that Haley should not be able to date or see anyone? No. Should Jamie be mad with how Thomas feels about Haley? I would be. Because if you were completely over her, you would not care if she did anything with anybody else. That's just my take on that. When things start to get heated, Thomas says, you know, he said I wanted all the exes to go home. Brian hears that and he's like, that's how you feel, buddy? But when Haley calms down and she's in the room, you know, Thomas continues to go off, and Brian is sitting there with his man pecs out. And he's like, you know what, bruh? I know you're upset. I know you're drunk right now, but I'm going to wait to talk to you tomorrow because I don't want to have to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? When he said that, Corey got all his arms up in a bunch. He was like, what? What, my dude? What? That's what we not going to do. Don't sit here and say, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that. Because, you know, Thomas, Brian. Of course, Corey is going to have Thomas back before he has Brian's back. So he presses Brian. Brian's like, you know, I don't appreciate this aggravation or hostility you got going on. Jamie tries to separate the two. Corey's like, ain't nothing happening right now. Ain't nothing happening. Jenny being hypocritical, and she's like, oh, come on, guys, get along. This is crazy. Let's all love each other. Brian, I got your back. And then Thomas yells, and he's like, oh, well, you was just fighting him just the other day. And Jenny was like, well, yeah, because I can do that. And Corey's like, because you're a crazy bitch. The whole house is going crazy. Then out of nowhere, Haley comes out and slaps Thomas again. I don't know about y'all, but I don't think I could have handled being in this house with all of my exes, or even one of my prime exes. I don't know. Things would be crazy. Not like I want my exes anymore, but just things would be really crazy. I want y'all to leave your comments below the videos and let me know what y'all think. I think Jamie was in the wrong for what she did with Jay and Jenna's situation. I think Brian, I'm glad that Brian told Jenny. I think Jenny still likes Brian. That's why she got overly emotional. I think Jay is wrong for how he treated Jenna. I love Corey, and I love the bromance with Brian and Corey. So far, so good. Jamie needs to get a backbone and some security blankets to cover up how she feels for Thomas. And Thomas just needs to stop caring about Haley. Haley doesn't care about you, and if she did, you would be with her right now. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Leave your comments below the video. Make sure you like this video. Click that thumbs up button on your cell phones, your tablets, anything that you're using right now to watch me. And deuces.